Trying to see more nomadic, I probably want a balloon. All it takes is a melody to remind me of home. I've been to New York, come on, Texas, yeah, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, A-A-T-L-M-I-A-D-D-M-V, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, California, no place like California. C-A all day. C-A D-M-V-M-I-A all reminds me of C-A. Sean.
I wanna sit on private planes. I wanna scream my name on top of the Eiffel Tower. On the Eiffel Tower. I wanna hit that blackjack. I wanna take that money and run right here, right now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry.
Larry, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. This is fielded a couple yards deep, and he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. First carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. They go play action with Brissett. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So the flag is for the very rare illegal forward pass penalty.
Not often that a quarterback forgets where the line of scrimmage is. They have an innate sense about it. On this play, the quarterback did.
This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Looking to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And now the rookie's free. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Now he's going to go up top over the middle. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big 3rd down play there for the Bengals. And even 40 yards. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks, because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
2nd down following the run.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
That's complete, right around the 8. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive play.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Duke Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense. And
the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's Brissett. That is caught. And he'll will take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Their big-bodied receiver, his second touchdown on the season, and the Bengals have taken the lead.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And out now come the Seahawks. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion. They'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to have a third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to face a third down. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got to a good rhythm. You see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Let's go!
2nd down, Brissett. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
The best defensive lineman They play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And this one is right down the middle. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And, you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Offense still needing 10 yards, second down. The gun. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Second down following the incompletion. They come out here in the aisle. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Cuts back, down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A second down throw for Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati. 42 yards. So the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Duke Johnson with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first half highlights and analysis.
LR, plenty to show in this one.
Going to be a busy man at intermission. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is incomplete. Yards still left on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the Seahawks defense heads back out there now. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down, you gave up a touchdown, you can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. That's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky, preach. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there, not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. We're set now on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A second down throw for Brissett. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And his kick is indeed good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and it's complete. So we've reached halftime in a... All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. Third quarter now. That'll be taken in the end zone. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
With all the specialization we have in this great game, at some point, the head coach is going to take charge of every group. And I think at halftime, he spent a little time with the special teams coach, said, look, you've got to find a way to get us a big play to help us get back into this.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. To throw, Brissett. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look forward to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Well, Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They'll set up a throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And they'll go on the ground. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That was a terrific job by the defense, stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense, because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
This will be fielded at the 17. Look at the spin. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bengals take possession. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Their big tight end. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Down. He'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it's good enough for a Seattle first.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? 18 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Seattle 1st down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So this is the second consecutive week, as you look at the numbers, that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Brissett. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and
he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Their big tight end, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
And in this day and age, I would love to play quarterback in the NFL. Wide open offenses, acrobatic receivers. If you're accurate, you're going to have days like this.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And they'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it'll give the Seahawks a 1st down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
A nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. They'll drop the throw. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here. Not done in the 4th. They go play action here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. And now this is back-to-back weeks that he has treated us with a really solid performance.
We know he's great. We expect it. But this is pretty special what we're watching here. We're watching a guy in total command of every situation, throwing the ball well, guiding his team, moving them. This is a whole lot of fun to watch.
That was fun last week. Sometimes it feels like we're at all these games. We're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. And as our graphic shows, sort of back to his old form, you requested a meeting with a tight end coach this week. What came from that?
Yeah, that's not normal because we usually talk to the offensive coordinator, defense coordinator. It's pretty simple stuff, but you're talking about a former tight end now coaching who've been to Pro Bowls and understood what it takes to get things done and get them done better. He's had bad games and had to bounce back. So I just asked him, what kind of advice did you give him? What do you do with him? He just said, I told him to relax. He's one of the best in the game. Let's go play. And it's worked out pretty well in this one.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's got some space here. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
And this is a situation where defensively, Brandon, you're going to be so excited. It's getting late. You've got the lead. No reason to not just pin your ears back and go. Bring the pressure. And here they hit him as he's releasing the football, and that's going to help lead to the interception.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They go to Johnson again. Shreds the tackle. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Duke Johnson, his third touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum, filet at maximum.
You can't give the guy skirt steak his first 3 times.
Filet, 10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. This Bengal defense now making their way back out onto the field. And they forced 4 turnovers now in that last possession, most recently the interception.
I'd love to be in charge of their highlight video at the end of the season, though, because this game, you can cut it into one sequence, take away, take away, take away, take away, and everyone goes home happy.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go now.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Back to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. So just 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Here's Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big run there by Johnson. And even 60 yards. Big run here in the fourth as they continue to wear down this defense.
And that's when the offensive line coach clicks onto the headset and says, head coach, offensive coordinator, let my guys fire out and hit people. We're wearing them down. Let's finish them off with the running game.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, things are definitely